Hey folks, Jonathan here. Alright, time to address the rear end issue. I'm going to show you what it's doing. So it'll roll backwards fine, but if you try to go forward, it just locks up. There's got to be something on this side in the brakes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So let me show you first what it's going to do, and then we'll go from there. So as you can see, it's locking up hard. So what we're going to do first is raise this up, put it on jack stands. We're going to get this wheels off this side. We're going to pop that axle out. So we'll know real quick if the hub still turns hard with the axle out, then we know absolutely it's in the brakes, and which I'm pretty sure it's going to be. But let's see what we can get figured out. All right, I'm real interested to see what the problem is with this, because I jacked it up on this side, left that wheel down, chalked the wheel so it wouldn't roll backwards, of course, in the front, and I put it in reverse because, you know, it'd been backing up good, and I wanted to see if we could at least get it spinning reverse, because I can't move it either way. And it still spun the other tire over there, with it being jacked up on this side. So we absolutely have something really bad jamming up in here. It won't move at all. So all right, we'll keep tearing down until we figure out what it is. All right folks, now we're gonna pop the axle out, and of course the hub's still just as tight as can be, so we may end up having some fun getting this thing off. Okay folks, I adjusted it off, got it to where it would turn without a problem. All right folks, we definitely figured out what the issue was. This all right, so this wheel was locking up on this side, and when it locked, and this thing's got, now we know, a G80 locker and a GT5 gear, which is a 410 gear, which is good because it's got overdrive, so it works out really well. The problem was this side, the brake was adjusted out, but the shoe was also coming apart, and it had a lot of brake fluid slathered in it. There's some cracks in that one, and let me see where it was coming at. Okay, top side, as you can see, old and hard, and had some issues, and then wheel cylinder was pouring, I mean leaking really bad. So got rid of that problem, and which had saturated the shoes, and then of course we got new axle seals to put in. So we'll get that done. Brakes are on, new wheel cylinders are on. Gravity bled them, so I think they'll be okay, and a little more cleaning, we'll get everything together, and I think that's going to solve all our problems. Now on this side, I haven't pulled the other side down to see how bad it is yet, but we're of course replacing everything on both sides. Disc brakes in the front, so I don't think there's much issue there, but this thing, when you hit the brakes, it was grabbing real hard, and then I think it was still, even when the tires were flat, it was the brakes were trying to lock. So just brake issues, and that happens from sitting. Now luckily the brake lines are good. I don't think there's going to be a rubber hose issue or, you know, no steel line problems. So we'll go ahead and get this, get the hub cleaned up, get it all back together, get the new seal in it, and then this side will be knocked out pretty quick, and then we'll jump on the other side. All right folks, the other side's done. Pulled this side down, it actually looks pretty good, but we're going to go ahead and change it. Wheel cylinder and the brake shoes, because we got them, and put a new wheel seal in, and we'll get this side back together. All right folks, everything's done on the rear. Brakes are done. Working, driving gear oil in it. I'm sure it was low on gear oil because that thing actually holds 3 point something quarts. It's almost 4 quarts. 3.85 I think, so it's definitely low, so hopefully it'll be okay. We got new seals, new brake shoes, and new wheel cylinders. So now we're working on getting ready to cut out for the fuel, and because this one is back here and the Ford was toward the front, we got to cut a new hole. So that's what we're getting ready to do. Got it marked and just got to try to clean it out a little bit so we don't have such a big fire. All right. Alright folks, here's my foundation finish for the engine. I got one of the block bearings just sitting up there. So my issue now is I need to pick this up and set it up there. The problem is it weighs a couple thousand pounds probably, and I got a roof above it, and I've got foundation, flywheel pit, and that on that side, so I really can't get in here good to get over it and pick it up. So that was the whole reason that I was putting that wrecker together. So we're going to finish that wrecker up now, and that way I can back in here and I can back right around to it and safely do it. Okay, I mounted a hydraulic pump and put a shaft on it. I was going to use part of the other pump, or the other PTO, which is laying on the back right there, and I was going to make it where the hydraulic pump slid right onto the pump, but I was going to run into some other issues with that, mainly hitting the cross member. So I did things a little bit different. Like I said, I'm going to show you. Boom is working. As you can see, it's up, but it won't come back down. Somebody has unhooked one of the lines and capped it off on the control valve, which makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't know why they done it, unless there's a hose busted or something. So without pressure coming down, you can't even unlock the valve. The locking valve won't unlock. So, but as for the winch, you can see it's working. And as for the boom in and out, it's working really well. It actually goes a lot higher than what I thought it was going to. It extends a lot farther. Seems to be doing good, but like I said, the boom will go up, but it won't come down. So we're fixing to figure out what the issue is with that. I'm going to pull the plug out. I'll show you it in a minute. We'll raise this thing up, pull the plug out, and see if we can hook the hose back up with the fitting and see if we got something blown or what the reasoning is for it. All right, so here's our problem. You can see that line, which is dripping a little bit. And you can probably see the fitting up in the top. And that line is just not hooked up. And I just don't know why. But what we're going to do is pull that fitting out. And hopefully I can find one around here. And we can try it, so we'll see. Alright folks, I've got the line hooked back up. So we're going to start this thing back up and try it. But if I was guessing, man, thinking about this, it could be a hose blown, but I mean, it needs some hoses, I know that. But I got the idea that maybe one of these cylinders was leaking pretty bad out the gland, and maybe that was the issue. And we'll see. Alright folks, I have no clue why that fitting was missing, unless they just had a fitting broke, because I done it, hooked it back up, cylinders ain't leaking. I don't know. Alright folks, Wreker is ready to work. Didn't do any wiring on it. There's wires hanging down that's no good. I probably need to cut them off. But as for the bed being mounted and hydraulics done, it's all hooked up, ready to go. And it's got a flat on the inside with a hole inside the tire. And I think it's got one flat on the other side, but it's going to be enough to do what I need to do right now. Boy, that's ugly. I got to fix that. But there was a bolt in there, and for me to be able to get the back of the Wreker up to the cross member that's in there, the back of the tailboard, I had to burn that out of there. So we got that done. Like I said, we're mounted and it's working good. Seems to be pretty strong. Actually seems to be real strong. I backed it up to the big yellow forklift on the heavy end and picked it up. So I think we're good to go there. Shortened the cable up because it had some frays here toward the end. It's got 1/2-inch cable on it instead of 3/8, which is good, except for there's too much cable on it. I took quite a bit off, but it's still got more than what you'd want to have on that. It needs some kind of a guide, because if you're not careful, you know, it'll get knocked off of it, and then you'll really be messing up. But anyway, not completely done when it comes to you know, the gas, getting the filler neck hooked up and getting the pieces back on the boom and cleaning everything up. But it's okay. I mean, what we're going to use it for, it's ready to go. There's my leftover PTO shaft. I bought 2 feet, used exactly 1 foot, so now I've got a foot left. Stuff's kind of expensive. That's 1.25 hexagon. All right folks, I think it's going to work. Still pretty close in here, but I think we can do it. A lot of things about this whole thing I don't like. The weight there, so I think I'll let down and hook farther that way. I'm just shortening this chain on this side. That'll bring us past the center point that way. All right. goes nothing. Don't stand under your load like this, okay? It's real unsafe. I'm only doing it to teach you not to do it. Alright folks, I got it on there. The whole thing needs to slide down that way a little bit. Flywheel pit, I might be off a little bit. Not much though. So measurements come out pretty good. Let me see, he's turning it over, let's spin it. That's a 8-foot heavy flywheel, so that's not bad. Be able to do it by hand, so a lot of cleaning up to do yet. Looks really good. I'm liking the foundation. You know, the original, everything original, it was supposed to be farther moved toward the end. I've got it about centered, and it makes it where it's not quite centered on our mount out there, but that's okay. I don't mind. I mean, it really don't matter. I kind of like it centered up here, which it still needs to go down probably another inch that way. But there you go. Pretty big pain in the butt trying to get this thing set, but Wreker worked good. It's just, you know, there's not much turning radius and it's tight in here, but we got it. I mean, that's all that matters. It set it up there, and that was our goal.